Good morning everyone. Welcome to 7th Standard English online class. I am Shahanas, your English teacher. Let me introduce your English textbooks. This year we are following Oxford Publications book. The name of the book is New Learning to Communicate. This is the course book. Along with this course book, you have one workbook. This is the workbook and you have one more literary reader. Okay, these are the 3 books we are going to follow this year. Okay, today let me deal with the course book. Let's move to the first lesson. Name of the lesson is Every Child is Free to be a Child. The name of the lesson is Every Child is free to be a child. Free to be a child. You see, every child is free to be a child. It's a very interesting lesson. Okay, before entering to this lesson, let me ask you some question. Children, do you like to care others or do you want to help others? Yes, helping others and caring others, it's really such a good experience. Am I right? Okay, children, under Unit 1, the name of the Unit 1 is Caring for Others, and the section number 1, the name of the section number 1 it is, I told you every child is free to be a child. So under this, page number 11, in page number 11, you can see some activities, not an activity, these are your opinion. You need to write here your opinion. What would you do if you are getting some situations like this that I am going to tell you. You see, one afternoon, while playing in the sun, your classmate faints. You see, one afternoon, while playing in the sun, your classmate faints. What would you do in such a situation? And you come home one evening and find your mother is sick. She is running a high temperature. You see, it's a critical situation, right? You come home one evening and find your mother is sick. She is running a high temperature. What would you do in such a situation? That also you need to write in this box. Then while playing basketball, your friend hurts her ankle and it is now swollen and tender. Next situation, you and your brother are cutting some vegetables. He cuts himself with the knife and his finger starts bleeding. The last situation, you are babysitting your little cousin and the toddler gets a small piece of a toy stuck in her ear. Oh my God, these all are different kinds of serious situations. What would you do in these situations that you need to write in this column? Okay, the column provided for that, don't forget to write page number 11. Let's move to the lesson now. Okay, before entering the lesson, let me ask you something. Children, have you heard about Malala Yousafzai? Yes, we heard Malala Yousafzai. She is a Nobel Prize winner, right? And along with her, we heard one more name. Who's that? Mr. Kailash Satyarthi. Kailash Satyarthi. Okay. Malala Yousafzai and Mr. Kailash Satyarthi, both of them bagged, both of them shared the Nobel Peace Prize of 2014. Have you remembered that one? Okay. Let me move to the 12th page, the first page of this lesson. Okay. Before starting this, you need to write all the new words in your notebook. You need to copy all the new words which is given in this blue bordered box that you need to copy in your notebook first and the meaning of these words also. Understood what I said? Okay. Let me read the first paragraph. The first paragraph of this lesson, it is extracted from the speech of Mr. Kailash Satyarthi on the day of Nobel Peace Prize acceptance speech. Okay. It is at the time of Nobel Peace Prize acceptance. This is an extract from that speech. Caring for those in trouble, children in particular, often requires sacrifice and service. Here is an amazing story of a truly caring person who believes that he can make the world a better place for children. Children, you got it? It's about whom? It's about Mr. Kailash Satyarthi. He believes that he can make the world a better place for children. He fought for the children's right, okay, for the children's education. Let me read the first paragraph. Over 50 years ago, on the first day of my school, I met a cobbler boy my age sitting outside the gate of my school. I asked my teachers, why is he working outside? Why is he not with us in school? My teachers had no answer. One day, I gathered the courage to ask the boy's father the same question. He said, Sir, I have never thought about it. We are born to work. His answer made me angry. It still makes me angry. As a child, I had a vision of tomorrow. A vision of that cobbler boy sitting with me in my class, now that tomorrow has become today. Today, it's time for every child to have a right to life, right to freedom, right to health, right to education, right to safety, right to dignity, right to equality, and right to peace, said Kailash Satyarthi in his Nobel Peace Prize acceptance speech in 2014. I told you this is an extract from his speech. Okay, through this speech he recalls his school days. Over 50 years ago, on the first day of my school, I met a cobbler boy my age sitting outside the gate of my school. He remembers that boy who was sitting outside of the gate, and he asked the teachers why this boy is sitting outside of the gate and doing the work of a cobbler. Let him to come inside and let him to learn. But the teachers did not give any answer to this question. One day, Kailash Satyarthi, the young Kailash, he gathered some energy, he gathered some courage and asked the boy's father, why don't you send your child to school? Why did he sit here itself? His father answered, I have never thought about it. I have never thought about it. We are born to work. They believed that these people are born to work only. They don't need to study anything. They have no courage to ask such things. They never think of such things. That answer made Mr. Kailash Satyarthi, not Mr. Kailash Satyarthi, that time he was a young boy. That answer made him angry. It still makes me angry, he says, still that answer makes him angry. As a child, I had a vision of tomorrow, a vision of that cobbler boy sitting with me in my classroom. He says, he had a vision of future. Even though he was a small boy that time, he had a great vision of future. What kind of a vision? this cobbler boy also sitting along with him and study with him in the same bench. But such a day, that what he dreamed of, it come now. You see, now everyone has the right to study. Now all the children of India has the right to study. Everyone has the right to life, right to freedom, right to health, right to education, right to safety, right to dignity, right to equality and right to peace. All kind of freedom now we are enjoying here in the country. Okay, that was a dream of Mr. Kailash Satyarthi when he was a young boy. Kailash Satyarthi, born in 1954 in Vidisha district of Madhya Pradesh, is the best known child rights activist in the country. Reports say that he has freed more than 80,000 children from bonded labor. You see, Kailash Satyarthi, born in 1954 in Vidisha district of Madhya Pradesh. This paragraph tells about him, and he is a well-known child rights activist. He is a well-known child rights activist. Child rights activist. A well-known child rights activist. You see, Mr. Kailash Satyarthi, he is a well-known child rights activist. He is born in 1954 in Vidisha district of Madhya Pradesh, is best known child rights activist in the country. Reports say that he has freed more than 80,000 children from bonded labor. What is bonded labor? It's here for some are forced to work for an employer for a fixed time without being paid, often as a way of paying debt. You see, some kind of people, some children are working very hard, but they won't get any kind of wages or money, but they simply do their work. Who is an activist? I told you he is a child rights activist. Who is an activist? A person who takes action to cause social or political change, usually as a member of the group. A person who takes action to cause social or political change. A person who worked for a political and social change. And the word advocacy means the giving of public support to course of action or belief. Listen, Satyarthi studied electrical engineering and obtained a postgraduate diploma in high voltage engineering. What about his studies? Satyarthi studied electrical engineering and obtained a postgraduate diploma in high voltage engineering. He taught in a college in Bhopal for a few years before dedicating himself to a life of advocacy. What's mean by advocacy? I told, the giving of public support to course of action or belief. That means he dedicated his life to support the struggling people, to support the child laborers. That means he dedicated his life. He gave away, he stopped his work as a college lecturer and he completely moved to the way of social work. Advocacy means the giving of public support to course of action or belief. And servitude, the condition of being a slave. We know who is a slave. A slave is working very hard for someone and they won't get any kind of money or anything. So, he was completely against this child labor and also he is completely against this servitude. Okay, let me move to the next page, page number 13. Here also you can see some new words in the blue bordered box. You need to write all these new words and its meaning in the notebook. Listen. This tireless campaigner for children's rights established the Bachpan Bachao Andolan in 1980 with a vision to end the problem of child labor. The organization soon became a mass movement that identified, liberated, rehabilitated and educated child laborers across the country. It has liberated 82,000 child laborers to date and continues to work to rehabilitate and educate them. You see, this tireless campaigner for children's rights established Bachpan Bachao Andolan. You see, who is the tireless campaigner? That is Mr. Kailash Satyarthi. He established Bachpan Bachao Andolan. He established an organization named Bachpan Bachao Andolan. Bachpan Bachao Andolan. What's the aim of that? He established this Bachpan Bachao Andolan with a vision to end the problem of child labor. He wants to stop all the child labor in our country. The organization soon became a mass movement that identified, liberated, rehabilitated and educated child laborers across the country. You see the meaning of liberated? What's meant by liberated? Freed. So, some people, those who have the same ideas like Kailash Satyarthi, they also supported him to free these child laborers. With the help of them also, he freed many child laborers and they tried to understand the problems of, children and also they liberated, they freed many children and rehabilitated and they gave a shelter, they shifted them to one place to a better place. That is rehabilitated. It's given here, helped children to live a normal life after rescuing them. So, they rescued many children from this child labor. It has liberated 82,000 child laborers to date and continues to work to rehabilitate and educate them. And this organization could help 82,000 children to rehabilitate and same like they could free 82,000 children to date and continues to work to rehabilitate and educate them. Now also after liberating these children also, these people, this organization again trying to educate these child laborers. Okay. Back when the organization was formed, the issue of child labor was not widely discussed in public. In the beginning of the establishment of Bachpan Bachao Andolan, this organization was not discussed by much people in the public. Those were challenging times of BBA. So that time was really a challenging time for BBA. What's BBA? Bachpan Bachao Andolan. Okay. Mr. Satyarthi led rescue mission for the children and others working in bonded labor in manufacturing industries. There were many children were working in the manufacturing industries, and Mr. Kailash Satyarthi, he became a leader to fight against them. Okay, and he wanted to free all these children, and he wanted to educate all these children. So he became a leader to fight against them. He was attacked several times, but he survived. So many people, those who are supporting child labor, they attacked Kailash Satyarthi. So Mr. Kailash Satyarthi was attacked several times, but still he survived. Okay. Those incidents of violence only strengthened his resolve to continue with his work, but he did not go back. He did not give up his determination. His determination became strong even after these attacks also. Bachpan Bachao Andolan's efforts have also led to the forming and implementation of very important legislation on the issue of child labor in India, like the Child Labor Prohibition Regulation Act of 1986, which includes a ban on child labor till the age of 14. You see, because of this, because of the effect of Bachpan Bachao Andolan, there are many changes happened in our country. They could stop the child labor completely till the age of 14. Satyarthi also helped in coordinating the historic global march against child labor in 1998. Mr. Kailash Satyarthi, he continued, he extended his work, his march throughout the country and also outside the country. Okay, now it is an international level. Satyarthi also helped coordinating historic global march against child labor in 1998. The march took place across 103 countries. He extended this march to 103 countries and culminated in an international ban on child labor. And because of this march, what's the name of march? Global March Against Child Labor. Because of this, in an international ban of child labor happened. Listen, this global march against the child labor could stop the child labor in an international way. That is, internationally the child labor banned. The children who marched with Satyarthi in 1998 were his inspiration. The children who were with him for that, they were really an inspiration for Kailash Satyarthi. They were so selfless. Why? Because they were so selfless, energetic and committed to ending all forms of child exploitation. They realized the power of children and now they are not ready to be exploited. Okay? They committed to ending all forms of child exploitation. Let me move to the last paragraph. One more new word here. It is passionately, means with strong feeling. Let me move to the last paragraph. Not surprisingly, Kailash Satyarthi has only one goal in his life, which he passionately highlighted in his Nobel Peace Acceptance speech. My only aim in life is that every child is free to be a child. What is his only aim in his life? That is this: every child is free to be a child. What kind of freedom he expects? You see, free to grow and develop, free to eat, sleep and see daylight, free to laugh and cry, free to play and learn, free to go to school, and above all, free to dream. So these are the dreams of Mr. Kailash Satyarthi about the children. So that is what we discussed in the beginning. He believes that he can make the world a better place for children. I told you, children, it was his dream, and he believes that he can make the world a better place for children, and that is the only aim he has now, and that is the only goal in his life. What kind of a freedom he expects? A free to grow and develop, free to eat, sleep and see daylight, free to laugh and cry, free to play and learn, free to go to school, and above all, free to dream. Okay, that's about this lesson. And children, let me give you some questions related to the lesson what I have taken today. I hope you got all the things what I have discussed today, and the question answers you need to write in your notebook. Let me give you the first question. Okay, let me tell you because no space on the board. Listen. Write a small note about Mr. Kailash Satyarthi. Write a small note about Mr. Kailash Satyarthi. Okay. And one more question let me give. What is Kailash Satyarthi's only one goal in his life? What is Kailash Satyarthi's only one goal in his life? Okay. Don't forget to write in the notebook. Okay. Now I am going to wind up this session. Thank you. Have a nice day.